Today's tutorial is about how to make pom-poms. I have to say this is one of my favorite crafts. I used to try to buy pom-poms and I can't believe how expensive they are. And once I learned how to make them, I realized, oh, this is easy. I can do this. And I created a few extra little tips and tricks just to help make it easier and have a no-fail pom-pom. I love all the different colors and sizes. And once I started making pom-poms, I came up with so many things that I needed pom-poms for. The first thing you need to do when you're making pom-poms is to create a template. And this is so easy, and all you have to do is get some cardboard and something to use for a circle cutter. And I happened to find a glass that is exactly 3 inches in diameter, and that's what size I want my pom-pom to be. The next thing you need is some yarn. And I like to use 2 strands of yarn so I can do it twice as fast. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Any size you want. This one just happens to be 3 inches wide, but it can be any size really. You could do 2 inches or you could do 5 inches. It just depends on what size you want your pom-pom to be. So this is actual speed. I didn't speed this up, but this really goes fast. Once you get it in a rhythm, you can just whoop, whoop, whoop. And I go around 90 times. So it's really twice that because it's 2 strands of yarn at once. But yeah, go around 90 times and you can go all the way down the legs or kind of keep it all bunched up, whichever seems to work the easiest for you. And then once you get that done, just cut off the edge, and this is what it looks like. And it kind of pinched the legs together, but that's okay. It still will work. Okay, so we're going to cut that off. And then after that, I need a very long piece. I don't know how long. I just kind of did the length from one arm to the other arm of yarn. I have done this in the past too short and didn't have enough to really secure the pom-pom. So just give it extra right here. Now we're going to slide the yarn down so that I can get the yarn on both sides of the legs. So you're going to go kind of like where the ankles would be and then up between the legs. That's the easiest way to explain it. So we're just going to get our long yarn, and this is the most important part. Make sure you're going to loop it around 4 times. I've done it with it looped once and the pom-pom ended up falling apart. I've done it twice, 3 times, trust me, 4 times. You're going to be happy you did. And then once it's looped 4 times, pull it absolutely as tight as you can. And the other nice thing about having it looped 4 times is it'll sit there and hold its position. It doesn't keep on slipping out while you tie it in a knot. Then you're going to want to tie 4 knots. And I think of the old Cub Scout knot tying things. I have 4 sons, and it's good to tie the knots going one direction and then the other direction just to secure it. The one thing that I have found out, a lot of times these pom-poms try to fall apart if you don't have that tied really good. Okay, then bring the strings through to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing again. Loop it around 4 times. Now you can see why we needed it so long, because it really kind of eats up some of the yarn. But the worst thing is having your pom-pom fall apart. So this is the part that really makes it secure. So we're going to tie that on that side just as tight as we can. And then 4 more knots going this way and that way. And once you have it really secured, the rest of the pom-pom making part is so simple and easy. You're going to be amazed how this can come together. I have made quite a few different sizes and different colors of these pom-poms, and it's very fun. And the one thing I would suggest is that you have a good pair of fabric scissors when you start cutting the yarn. Don't use your craft scissors because they're just not sharp enough, and this can take forever if you don't have a good set of scissors, because as you can see, this is getting really thick. I have done it with, tried to make them with craft scissors, and then the yarn wouldn't cut, and it just got so frustrating. So we're going to cut halfway between all those little bends of yarn. Now, when you're cutting it, you're going to think, wait, this isn't shaping out quite right. But have patience. It's going to be perfect. So we just go along, and if you have a good pair of scissors, you can put a lot of yarn in at a time. Just make sure you cut each one of those loops. And again, if you didn't do that 4-loop process like I suggested, this is when all of a sudden your whole pom-pom will fall apart. Now, I keep the tails out just so I can show you, in case you wanted to make a pom-pom where you tie it onto something, you want to keep those tails. But in the case of my banner, I'm actually not going to need the tails because I'm gluing the whole pom-pom down. So you just look and make sure you get every single one of those loops. And as you can see, it's shorter in the center, kind of different shapes. And that's why we cut that circle out, the 3-inch diameter circle of cardboard. And we will find the very center of our pom-pom and the center of our cardboard and hold on to the tag, the tails. And then that's our template. And you just start cutting it around. Now you can change the pom-poms even right here. Even if you use the other template to make your pom-pom, you can then make this smaller if you want to, just by making a smaller circle. And again, if you don't have good scissors, this part can be a little bit frustrating, but if you have good scissors, it goes so fast. Look at this. We're giving it a little haircut, and you just go around and trim, trim, trim all the way around. And there'll be a few that'll just be strays, and we can pick those up on the other side if we don't happen to notice them when we're doing this. Okay, once you get that done, then you're going to move your pom-pom, and you're going to do it from the other direction, halfway around. So you just find the center again, find the center of your cardboard, and then trim around again. You'll be so happy and when you realize how easy these pom-poms. I have to say, I have looked for pom-poms all over the place, and they can really be expensive. And then once you get them, they may not be the right color for what you wanted a pom-pom or the right size. So once I learned this technique of how to make a pom-pom, that's it. I'm just going to be making my own pom-poms from now on, and I've done all different types of yarn, different colors, different sizes, and that's all there is to it. It's fast, it's easy, and then once you shake it out, you'll find a couple little strays that didn't get where they were supposed to be originally, and if you want to trim down a few little corners, you can, and that's all there is to it. Now, for this particular banner, I made 5 pom-poms, and I went ahead and made the pom-poms in advance, all but this one, so that I could show you what we're going to do next. There you have it. There's our beautiful green and white pom-pom. Oh, look at this mess. Sometimes I wish I was magic and I could just blink and all of that would be cleaned up. Oh yeah, I can. Ha ha, here it is. Now you can see my really fun St. Patrick's Day banner that I made. But I also found that different colors of yarn inspired me to do different types of things. I love the really fuzzy yarn, although I will say the pom-poms turn out to be have quite a bit of lint. But just the bright colors work so great. I make a lot of gnomes, and now that I've started making my own pom-poms, they can be any color in the rainbow, and I love that so much. The other thing that inspired me once I started making pom-poms was I guess I better learn how to crochet and crochet a pillow. I'm not a great crocheter, but since I had the pom-poms, I decided, well, I'll give it a try. The pom-poms are much better than the rest of the pillow. The other thing that I was thinking was, what else can I use this for? And my granddaughters and I made a cute little bunny. And this is just Dollar Tree supplies. So it was just a lot of fun. The other option that you can always do is, well, you can do anything. That's what's the greatest thing about Pom Poms. The possibilities are endless. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this project. Now, if you know anyone who would also like to learn how to do creative things, share this video out. Also, you might want to check out a couple other videos that I have, like this one right here, or this one right here. I'll see you again soon.